Just in case you don't know, I'm not from a wealthy home at all. I'm not from a poor home either, don't get me wrong. But people make sweeping conclusions because of the school I attended. They feel everyone who attends a private university like that is from a privileged home. But every school fees was a prayer point. In fact, there was one I paid supernaturally. If you don't know the story, don't worry. Now imagine finishing, your parents almost sold one of their kidney to pay your way through school. Then you now finish and say, the Lord said I will serve him. I remember my dad started warning me when he saw the way I was going. I went to school, I was printing devotionals. So there was a day I stacked up the devotionals in the kitchen. He said, this is nice, but make sure that you don't allow your these hobbies to distract you from why I sent you to school. He was telling me clearly. But the God of the Bible, he knows how to talk to all the stakeholders. When the mother, the one who was going to give birth to Samson, saw an angel, they began to pray that the angel will come again. When she saw the angel, she ran and called her husband. Her husband saw him too. There is enough biblical precedence for what I'm saying. So my mom was supposed to have a prayer meeting, and the man who was going to oversee the prayer meeting has sharp prophetic gifts. So this was me. I was full of the Spirit, already causing havoc in the kingdom of heaven, in darkness in school, but my parents didn't know at all. Hey, my God. In fact, because of the urgency of my assignment, I began to gauge, like I was reading enough to pass so that I can do full-time ministry. Don't worry. So don't try this at home, okay? It worked for me. If you like, tell me, say, I advise you. So my mom asked me to go with her for that meeting. They had been planning the meeting for a long time. As I stepped in with her, the prophet looked at her and said, why are you here? She was so confused. What do you mean, why are you here? She introduced herself like we've been talking over the phone. He said, why are you here? And she said, I'm here for prayers. And then he said, you came to me for prayers and you have a son like this? I was there thinking of how to tell her that, this book I'm reading. I studied building engineering, but I'm looking for a city whose builder and maker is God. After all, except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain. By faith, Abraham sojourned. He was looking for a city. Oh my God. Different excuse not to read book. He said, you have a son like this. That was the first time my mom really paid attention. You have a son like this and you came to me. Do you know what it means? You traveled to see a great man of God, and the man of God is telling you there's a prophet in your house. Then guess what? Guess what he said next? He said, this boy will plant churches around the world. Just open it. See, God is faithful. Don't destroy your family. Trust the leading of the Lord. The Spirit of God is not an author of confusion. Do you know that after that night that Gabriel appeared to Joseph, it was Joseph that began to see the visions, protecting the order of the family? It was Joseph. When it was time to flee to Egypt, it was Joseph. When it was time to return back, it was Joseph. There are some leadings you get as a woman. You say, Lord, tell him. Please hear God. And these are the simple things that also divide families. A family can be in a country, you both have jobs. One will just say, the Lord said we should move to Ogbomoso. And then maybe your wife, because usually in the relationship, the wife is usually the logical one. Men are more inclined to take risks. Women want to say, okay, but how will we eat? What about our children? And because you have been taught in the word of God that Abraham moved, you jump. Once the water is there, jump. You have a family, my friend. So when you are leading a family or you are part of a family, God cannot speak to only you to make a decision that will affect everybody. It's a small thing to say, God, please tell her. God, please tell him. There is every biblical justification to seek confirmation. This is the reason why a lot of people have lost a lot. You have a high-paying job. Someone gave you a word, resign. This music, you're very good, my friend. I'm hearing music. It's like poverty sat you down. He looked at you eyeball to eyeball. I said, I will show you. My friend, be wise. The God of the Bible is not opposed to questions. Who am I that I will say to Pharaoh, God said I will go with you? Okay, how will they hear? Drop your rod on the floor. You are allowed to ask for clarifications. Are you listening to me?